Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about the Friends of Pat Rogers training event that I was able to attend last month in Alliance, Ohio at the Alliance Police Training Facility. If you guys aren't familiar with the APD facility, check out Practically Tactical's channel. They've got a video on the facility in its entirety, some of the things that they can do, and pretty much shows a lot of stuff that makes it really a unique training facility to train at. The way that the Friends of Pat Rogers event was structured was it was brought in from instructors from all over the country, all nationally known instructors that were at some point in time mentored by Pat Rogers, and kind of for them to give back to the legacy of Pat Rogers, they decided to have a training event in order to assist in doing so. So how I pretty much structured it when the course list came out, pretty much it was you could take as many courses as you wanted or as few courses as you wanted. So the courses were 4 and 2 hour blocks. I decided to take the first half of the day takes rifle courses, and then the second half of the day take handgun courses. So the first course that I took was the Press Check Consulting CQB with Roland. If you guys aren't familiar with Roland but know what the Roland special is, do yourself a favor and go to the primary and secondary, either the forum or the Facebook or the YouTube channel, and you can hear more about the Roland special as well as Roland as a person. But he's done a lot of great stuff for this country. His adjunct instructors were Steve Fisher and Jose Gordon, and I'm not going to get into too much of the actual what we did and as far as the coursework or anything like that goes, but we started out doing 4-man room entries. Graduated from 1 room to 2 rooms. My team was all cops. All of us had a different way of doing things, but it really didn't matter because we're doing it the way that Roland is teaching it, right? So this did cause us some issues when we got to the house because guys were doing what they were used to doing, and this caused for kind of a mixed up type of situation. I ended up being the point man on the last run because the point man that had been the point man from the beginning decided he no longer wanted to do so. So I took over that role. I was the number 2 man into the room. We had some kind of issues as far as what guys were supposed to be doing at a specific time, guys doing it the way they normally would do it and just running into issues that way. As far as that goes, we did relatively well. By the end of the day, we still had some stuff that we consistently messed up on, but I think that was more or less due to guys working together that hadn't worked together before. But by the end of the time, by the end of the last run, we ended up getting it. It was our cleanest run, and obviously because it should be, because we've been running it now for quite a while now. Issues that I had as far as equipment, didn't have really anything as far as plate carrier, anything that I usually use on a semi or a regular basis. The helmet I had, the PASGT helmet, it's an older style helmet that I picked up from a friend of mine. Give it to me after the whole Orlando deal, and I had shot with it before with ear probe, and it didn't run into any kind of issues when I was shooting it on the range. But when I come to the 4-day class, using it with the same ear pro that I was shooting with for an extended period of time, I ended up getting hot spots from hell, really. I mean, it was horrible. The first couple hours I was good, but when I come down to the second and third hour, or the third and fourth hour, excuse me, the hot spots were really noticeable. And by the time I got to that 3rd hour, or that 4th hour, excuse me, I ended up taking my helmet off between runs while we're debriefing it with my team and everything, so on and so forth. So that's definitely getting replaced with a high cut helmet of some type. So I'm in the market for that, so we'll see how that goes. The next course I ended up taking was Modified Navy Qual Drill by Jeff Gonzalez with Charter Concepts. He pretty much outlined how he shoots the drill, kind of a history lesson of the drill, which I didn't know so much went into it as much as it does, but it's a lot more than what I originally thought. I plan on shooting it with, I call it a slick configuration, really just duty belt, and that's it. But in order to shoot it, for it to be able to score it correctly, you got to shoot it in kit, and that either means a plate carrier or a chest rig of some type. So I went, got my plate carrier, shot in the plate carrier. Well, we started off, Jeff demoed the drill to us, and then we shot it at 25 for familiarization, moved back, shot it at 35 for familiarization, and then we moved back and shot at 50 for the score. We shot it one at a time on the timer for score. Jeff ended up using the EAG targets. Basically, it's a silhouette, but everything's multicam. Inside the silhouette's got a 8-inch circle, and that's where you're aiming point, that 8-inch circle. But a lot of guys don't know where that 8-inch circle was, and I fell victim to that as well. As well as for the penalties for how to run the actual drill, I incurred pretty much incurred as many penalties as I could on the drill for stuff like reloading on the move between positions, as well as not putting the weapon on safe between reloads and between positions. I've been training a different kind of way, a method that I have subscribed to for a matter of time now, and putting the weapon on safety and completing the reload before moving is just something that I had not incorporated into focus practice. But after talking to some of the instructors up there, I think that I may start doing that. Yet I'm still kind of on the edge about that. On the fence, I should say, as far as putting the weapon on safe between reloads, specifically on a slide lock reload or a bolt emergency or speed reload, whatever you want to call it. But I pretty much shot it relatively poorly. The accuracy was decent, but the points I incurred from the penalties, I would have never been able to come back from the score, the penalties I incurred by the time penalties. So overall, shot the drill relatively poorly. Didn't qualify on the drill. Again, the accuracy was decent. The accuracy was to the point where I could have qualified if I would not have shot as many penalties as I did. But again, the penalties is what really killed me on that drill. Still going to practice the drill for sure. And just to kind of gauge where I was at then and where I'm at now. The next course that I ended up taking was Ernest Langdon pistol, which is kind of when I was transitioning to the handgun phase. I shot it from a D-belt configuration. The Ernest Langdon, he is the king, in my opinion, on double single guns. So if you're shooting a SIG, or if you're shooting a H&K or Beretta or CZ or whatever, that's a traditional double single gun, you want to take a class for Ernest Langdon. Issues I ran into with this course, I shot the SIG 226, and I had grip tape here on the side of the slide for my support hand thumb to have a place to rest. But I put that tape on earlier this summer, and by now the tape had lost the majority of its adhesive. So whenever I started shooting, my hand started slipping, going the path of least resistance, causing my rounds to shoot low right, taking the path of least resistance. So once I took that off, I shot how I was used to shooting as far as groupings on the target. And then once I incorporated how Ernest Langdon was teaching the pistol work, the trigger work, excuse me, which I had never heard of, my group shrunk considerably. How to run this double single gun pretty much most efficient as you could. So that was one of the things I picked up as well, is the trigger work, and I still use that now, focus practice. Matter of fact, whenever I'm fixing to go to the range here in a little bit, and work some trigger stuff. In addition to that, reloads, how I reload as a left-handed, normally I would come over the top, use the overhand method, not so much the pinch method, but the overhand method. Now I am using the slide release with my offhand, so I'll do the reload, come up, and with my trigger finger on my offhand, I'll press the slide release on that, and it is a lot quicker doing the reloads that way. I'm not as fast as I want to be yet, but again, since I'm now incorporating that into focus practice, both dry fire as well as live fire, it's something that I'm definitely getting more confident with and more comfortable doing. So there's that. That was about the only issues that I ran into in the Ernest Langdon class, is that little tape issue that I had. Once I took that off and incorporated the trigger work, I printed groups that were much smaller. Ernest Langdon did an excellent job throughout the course demonstrating the speed, specifically on a double single gun. Guys think that double single guns are slow, as well as he went over why he thinks the double single gun is pretty much the best for social work, as in gunfighting. And I don't know that I particularly subscribe to a double single versus a striker fire gun. Obviously, I'm issued a double single, so I don't have a choice. But to me, either one of them is fine. I don't know that either one provides any specific benefit so long as you are using your force safety rules. But that's really neither here nor there. Just suffice it to say, if you're shooting a double single gun, you want to get in a class with Ernest Langdon. And probably my next pistol class is going to be with Ernest Langdon. After that, that leads us into the nighttime shoot, or with nighttime courses of fire, which I took Matt Jaquie's low light handgun. I wanted to take Matt Jaquie's had a fighting, not a fight for concealment. He had a it's kind of like a precursor, I guess, to fight for concealment, where he taught a 2-hour block on concealment earlier in the day. And I wanted to take it, but because I was taking the CQB course and the shoot house, I was unable to take it. So whenever I got to shoot the low light with Matt Jaquie's, I decided that I was going to run my concealment rig, because I figured most of the people that were going to shoot that course had also taken his earlier course from concealment, as well as Matt Jaquie's is kind of a kingpin from shooting from concealment, from his vast knowledge from concealed carry for work as well as off work, so on and so forth. But suffice to say, I plan on taking his fighting handgun, hopefully in Virginia next time he comes. Not this one coming up in this October, but hopefully I get him one next year. Hopefully early next year, if he has any open enrollment, because most of his stuff is closed enrollment as of right now. But we'll see about that. Throughout the low light, I shot it in 2 different groups. So we had to split up between guys shooting handheld lights and guys shooting white light, or shooting handhelds and then weapon mount, excuse me. I ended up shooting both the handheld group as well as the weapon mount light group. Just because I have it, you know, I had bought both, so I brought enough ammo for both. I brought more than enough ammo for both, so I just decided to shoot both iterations of it. It's the first course that I ran from concealment, from actually taking a class and running it completely from concealment. Of course, I practice concealment on a semi-regular basis, I should say. Not as much as I do from my open rig, but I do practice from concealment every once in a while. Enough to keep myself proficient in draw, so on and so forth. Carried an appendix inside the waistband in this course I would normally carry, and it ran well. Shooting this TLR1, it ran well. This is a first generation series, so it's not as bright as like the Surefire U-boat. As well as my handheld light, I was shooting a Surefire 6P with a 500 losing conversion bulb from Cree, and it's a relatively bright light. But when I was shooting beside Paul Garner and he was shooting 1,000 lumens, I mean that 1,000 lumens dwarfs 500, even on the Cree bulb, even on the Surefire standard Fury lights. The 1,000 lumens is just outrageous as far as output goes. So I think I'm going to probably end up getting a 1,000 lumen light, at least for handheld, for duty use anyways. So we'll see how that goes. Other than that, the coursework was great between all 4 of the classes I ended up taking. Hopefully I'm going to get into a course here shortly with Ernest Langdon, and then with Matt Jaquie as far as rifle, or as far as handgun goes from concealment. And I'll probably shoot both courses from concealment. As far as rifle stuff goes, I hope to get into a course with Jeff Gonzalez, maybe late 2017, maybe at the latest early 2018, and then hopefully I can get into Press Check Consultants courses as they go, because he's kind of, I don't say kind of, he's super selective on who's taking his courses. It's kind of an invite only kind of a deal. So hopefully I can get in one of his courses whenever I can get into one. So that's just kind of the way that things roll. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to rate, subscribe, and comment. Before I forget, I did pick up this EAG Black Stripe Moose Cock. Unfortunately, it's the only Moose Cock patch that I'm going to be able to get, because obviously the late great Pat Rogers passed out the Moose Cock patch. So this is kind of a it's kind of weird not being able to get an actual Moose Cock patch, be able to actually train with Pat Rogers. But all in all, I mean, it's just one of those lost opportunities. It is what it is. But you guys feel free to rate, subscribe, and comment, and shoot safe. Peace.